Death is a universal human experience. Knowing the values, beliefs, and practices of patients and families experiencing end-of-life challenges is essential to delivering quality health care, addressing health disparities, and achieving a dignified death. There is insufficient evidence about providing culturally congruent end-of-life care for rural Appalachian people and their families. Such care is satisfying and meaningful, fits with people's daily lives, and helps them face death. Rural Appalachian people have unique geographic, cultural, and economic heritage. They represent a large group of Americans who have been traditionally underrepresented in healthcare studies. As a group, they have been misunderstood, ridiculed, and stereotyped. Appalachians' rich cultural values and beliefs include a sense of belonging, love of our mountains, strong family ties, firm faith, hard work ethic, and fierce independence and pride. Appalachia also suffers from poverty. 19% of the population lives below the poverty level, compared to 15.8% in Tennessee and 13% in the United States. Counties in the East Tennessee region of Appalachia are designated as medically underserved and healthcare professional shortage areas. These cultural values potentially limit knowledge and use of supportive community resources at end of life. In fact, hospice use in Knox County is 55%, while it's only 13% in many of these rural counties. Such limited use of healthcare services creates vulnerabilities in this population. The culture care theory and qualitative ethno-nursing research method was used to guide this study. The Sunrise Enabler provides a cognitive map of the theory. Researchers examine cultural factors, folk care, and nursing care desired. Then data are synthesized to make recommendations about providing culturally congruent care. Participants for the study were people receiving hospice care at home, family members, hospice nurses, administrators, and interdisciplinary team members. They were interviewed until saturation was achieved. Ethno-nursing data analysis was used, moving from raw data to patterns, themes, and then recommendations for care. The first theme was faith. That's fundamental to rural Appalachians and their families at end of life. Faith in God, Jesus, and Lord. Faith practices of Bible reading and prayer. God's timing for healing and death. One hospice patient shared, "God has watched over me so many years, and He healed me so many times. You know, we can do this with God's help." Another patient shared, "None of us know, and so I believe in the Lord, and I believe He'll take me when He gets ready for me to go." This was shared by a hospice person who had chosen to move from up north back to their rural Appalachian community. The second theme was family care at end of life is essential for culturally congruent care. Rural Appalachians wanted to receive end of life care at home and spend quality time with their families. There was diversity in that some family members provided care while others did not. Within families, some were united and some received conflict. A family member shared, "You know, around here in the mountains, you take care of our people." One person shared, "I got so lonesome, you know, for my family, and so I come back in order to spend the rest of my life with them." People described using folk care, such as herbal teas, greens, and poultices to draw out pain. They want their folk care combined with professional nursing care. Additionally, church communities provided caring support at end of life with food and prayer services. One person shared, "Our church family want to help, but sometimes they just don't know what to do for us." Participants wanted relationships with healthcare providers based on trust and caring. One daughter shared trust as one of the main things. Another was grateful for care from a local that knows your family. And still another shared that a home health aide treated the patient as if they were their own, very loving and caring. Most rural Appalachian families chose hospice care based on their need for help, caregiver exhaustion, or pain and symptom management for the patient. Some families did not choose hospice because they wanted to continue curative care or they wanted to avoid the stigma of death. A family caregiver shared, You get worn out. It's the hardest job I've ever had to do in my life. A hospice patient shared, I got so much pain, I knew I needed to do something. One family chose not to use hospice because they stated they just give you morphine until you die. Another shared, I still didn't say hospice around mom and dad because I just didn't want them to think that they were going to die. Using the culture care theory, we consider these data and make recommendations for providing culturally congruent care. Healthcare providers can honor faith values, beliefs, and practices. They can be present. When dying, people and families just want you to be there. Healthcare providers can accommodate strong family relationships and the desire to remain at home by encouraging family members to use interdisciplinary services such as home health aides for bathing, pastoral care services for spiritual support, and social worker and counseling for coping. Providers can negotiate with the church community to support families at end of life in the home through prayer, food, visits, and phone calls. This study found that people want their cultural values, beliefs, and practices honored at end of life. Participants recommended education to teach rural Appalachians hospice care choices using local people in faith communities and a train-the-trainer model. The next steps are intervention, development, and testing. We'd like to thank the hospice patients, families, providers, community members who participated and shared this sacred time in their lives with us. I'd like to acknowledge our research team, as well as thank the Center for Health Sciences Research for funding from the College of Nursing. Thank you.